All right. Y'all ready?
Hey, check that out. We got a new opening graphic.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wacky Wednesday indeed.
I just threw that together. I just threw that together.
Well,
Quick
Into the
message to my honey. I hope you rest well, darling. And I hope that headache goes away fast.
into the Cleveland Cavaliers. You suck. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah!
Woo!
Let's get this party started. Good morning. Welcome to the Wacky Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Today, we are powered by Wanna Parlay, the world's richest parlay. Compete against others to see who can build the best parlay and take home a huge cash prize. Join a community that loves sports as much as you do. And when you do, just use the code Snowman and get a 250% deposit match when you play. And we tell everyone, please play responsibly. Now, speaking of responsible, how are you guys doing this morning?
Man, after the craziness I had last night calling a dirt race from Eldora in the truck series for Racers Elite, I'm hanging in there.
Good. All right. Let's get started. Jim Montgomery, you fired.
Yep, the Bruins pulled a big old Vince McMahon on him and gave him the big old, "You're fired." And I think it was needed.
I say it was needed also because the Boston Bruins, since that choke job against the Panthers,
You're not wrong.
has been playing mediocre hockey.
Mediocre.
I understand a young team like the Blackhawks have to build their way back into their dynasty era. And I understand that. A few teams are going through that, but you're the Boston Bruins. You had Florida on the ropes 2 years ago, and you choked it away. 1 year later, you play the Panthers again, and you choke that away. I think those 2 losses led to Jim Montgomery's firing.
Well, it doesn't help. We've gone basically 500 this season to start with. I mean, let's be real about it. We've had goalie inconsistency, and that's the nice way of putting it.
Oh, yeah.
We end up letting Olmark get away and go to Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
We just haven't found our offensive groove yet. And, you know, it starts with coaching.
It does.
Listen, the Bruins have these star-powered roster like the Edmonton Oilers, yet the Edmonton Oilers, even in games without McDavid, have at least kept a winning record.
Yeah, and again, there's our biggest problem is, yeah, we have offense. Yeah, we have goaltending. It's just been too inconsistent. And when we haven't been able to throw down with our stars, we've basically been shut down.
But I also do want to say, like, I don't want to underestimate Columbus at all, but it's just Columbus is near dead last in the league in defense. They have one of the worst defensive teams. They have a pretty good offensive team, but defense is non-existent in Columbus, just like it is in Cleveland for both the Cavaliers and the Browns, just like it is in Cincinnati, just like the outfield for the Cleveland Indians.
Just like it is in Dallas with the Cowboys.
Just like it is with every team in Ohio, except maybe Ohio State. There is no defense.
Well, Ohio State's going to get a test of that on Saturday. We'll talk more about that later.
That's actually one of the games I have listed for our picks, by the way.
And that's one of the games we're going to cover.
The Jets.
Oh, dear God. It took them long enough to get their head out of their ass on this one.
Save the Jets. We got someone coming for that.
The Winnipeg Jets?
Oh, what are you talking about Winnipeg? What are you talking about Winnipeg for? Chris Jericho's not here.
Because nobody cares.
Because they're the best team in the league.
True.
Because they're the best team in the league.
Remember, Ryan McCoffey's only a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was his favorite Muppet.
Mm-hmm.
The Winnipeg Jets took a 5-0 loss to the defending champs, Florida Panthers, and then come back on Tuesday night and beat the Panthers 6-3 in their home.
That was in Florida?
No, the 6-3 win for the Jets happened in Winnipeg. The 5-0 loss happened in Florida.
Yikes!
That's a swing.
Is Florida sitting up top their division?
The Florida Panthers are first in the Atlantic with a 12-6-1 record, just behind them.
I may as well push. Since we started with Jim Montgomery, and since he's here, I may as well push this button. Our hockey talk this morning is powered by SeatGeek. Go to some games, go to some concerts, but use the code Snowman when you find the seat that you want, and you get $20 off of your first order. NHL starts our broadcast this morning, and matter of fact, Droid, go through the divisions. How many games are on the docket tonight? May as well.
Tonight, Wednesday, November 20th, you have two classics in the Hurricanes and Flyers, with the Flyers finally finding their footing in terms of defense. And then you also got the Golden Knights and Maple Leafs, both 11-win teams, both only have 5 to 6 losses in full time, and then you have 2 overtime losses each. Your blowout of the night is going to be the Dallas Stars versus the San Jose Sharks. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. You got the Nashville Predators versus the Seattle Kraken.
Y'all want to pick them? Y'all want to pick them? We may as well just make this a full hockey segment before we go to break. Y'all want to pick them? Yes, no.
I mean, I think I know where we're going to be going.
Droid's leaning no.
I mean, come on.
If this was yesterday, maybe.
But not tonight.
But we only have one good game tonight, so no.
I mean, I'm looking at tomorrow's I'm looking at tomorrow's slate,
However,
and it's going to be better if you ask me.
I might call Leafs Golden Knights tonight on the Grilled Sportscast channel.
Okay. Are they hooked up with us now? They're not. Droid, shame on you.
Yeah.
They're not hooked
Shut up, LeBron.
And we'll hear more of that later.
But another thing I wanted to talk about was the Washington Capitals going from a dead last team last year to the number 1 team in the Metro after dethroning the New Jersey Devils' long reign of the Metro so far this year. The Washington Capitals, led by Alexander Ovechkin, who is looking to become the greatest goal scorer to ever touch the ice.
He ain't. I'm old. I'm gonna mess with Droid on that point every chance I get. But yeah, Ovechkin is slowly. How many goals away is he?
26 to tie, 27 to break it.
27's the magic number. I think he'll get that right after the All-Star break.
Dirty play ended up getting Ovechkin injured. He is out with a leg injury for a TBD time. And also, dear Toronto, bleep you, and bleep a whole lot of you. You signed Ryan Reeves.
Hold on a minute. All right, do it again.
Dear Toronto Maple Leafs, you, and a whole lot of you. You signed Ryan Reeves willingly to your roster. Yep. What does he do? Not 5 games in the season? Receive a 5-game suspension.
What?
A 5-game suspension for charging at Darnell Nurse, which actually cut his head open and dripped on the ice.
What?
I'm surprised he got 5 games. It's just...
What?
It's disappointing. Like, what? I'm about to knock some sense into you. But tomorrow...
you can't catch me.
But... I, of course, as somebody who grew up on a heavy-hitting era in hockey, where hockey was at its all-time physical, the league's getting soft, but also it's getting, how do I say this? It could become lethal at some point with how dirty some of these players are getting. If it was a clean, massive hit in the open ice, I would have been like, yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. If you've seen Nathan McKinnon's reverse hit against the Islanders, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I love seeing hits like that. But what I don't like seeing is blatant plays that are blatantly there to get somebody hurt. Y'all remember when Paul Correa got knocked out on the ice and then came back and scored?
Yes.
Yep.
You do not see that anymore.
No, because concussion protocol is actually a thing nowadays. Not like they knew what they were doing back in the 90s.
And you will never see that.
Or the 80s for that matter, because there were some hard hits in the 80s. That's when I got into hockey. And they were all clean, but they were all very physical.
In the 2000s, man, I remember Joe Thornton, like in the 2015 playoffs, where he had his entire ACL torn and he played with it. He told coach, "Put me in. I am playing the rest of this playoff series with a torn ACL."
That's because Joe Thornton's got that dog in him.
Yep.
And then I believe it was I don't remember his name, but it was a Bruins player who took 3 back-to-back block shots and was limping on the ice and was still making plays.
Let's see. I know it wasn't Pasternak. I know it wasn't Brad.
It was I think his name was Campbell.
Yeah, I think so. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Hold on, we're live research people.
While you do that, let's take a break. And when y'all get back, dear God in heaven, Father O'Shaughnessy is here. And he ain't none too happy.
What's he doing showing up already?
Jim Montgomery got fired.
Oh, that explains why he's beating on my door.
Yep. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister, how do you you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck. You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the House of New England, where the Bruins have done something that I wish Robert Kraft would do, and that was fire their head coach. Yes, I'm still very, very salty about the fact we have 38-day-old Mayo running the New England Patriots to a losing season, but apparently the Bruins got the memo and fired Jim Montgomery. Now, granted, Jim gave us one of the best records we have ever had in the NHL, but unfortunately choked it away worse than, how was it that Mr. Bass put it? Choked it away worse than hooker whores? We lost to the Florida Panthers twice underneath Jim Montgomery, and then all of a sudden now we have stumbled into an 8-9-3 record. Now, I get Mr. Montgomery was an amazing coach in the regular season, but it's where it counts the most in the postseason. And I'm sorry, Jim, but you weren't it, son.
Jim, Father O'Shaughnessy, I think a good way to compare Jim Montgomery is like Mike McCarthy. Decent in the regular season, trash in the playoffs.
Sir, we do not bring up Pennywise in this church. It's bad enough we have to bring him up on the show, period, and I don't want to kick Victor when he's down, even though that seems to be a fun topic. But Pennywise, trust me, Joel Jones is worse than the 70-year-old Kraft mac and cheese bread we got up here in New England. So we are currently sitting here in Boston at an 8-9-3 record. We have no shot of making the playoffs right now.
None.
So what happens now? Well, Boston has elevated. Who is this clown that they brought in? Joe Sacco. He coached the Colorado Avalanche.
Who?
Joe Sacco.
What?
Who?
Joe Sacco, my children, please. Do you need your hearing aids turned up? I know this is our old house, but damn. Previously coached the Colorado Avalanche from 2009 to 2013 and has been part of the Boston coaching staff since 2014. Okay, well, Colorado had a much different offense back then, so maybe, this is what we need here in New England, but you never know. So, Jim Montgomery is gone. Question is, where is he going to end up landing? AHL, anybody? I mean, that's right where he belongs, the way things have been going. Now, granted, we have not had exactly the best offense. We have not had exactly the best goaltending. God almighty, Jeremy Swayman, what have you been thinking these days? Yeah, Swayman is 5-7-2 with an .884 save percentage and a 3.47 goals against average. Yeah, that's not going to get it done between the pipes. And Jonas Corpusilo has not been any better. So, New England, Boston itself needs a whole new revamp. We already know that the Red Sox are going to be getting revamped. Bruins are now getting revamped. The only team that doesn't need a revamp is the Celtics, and thank God they beat the absolute tar out of the Cleveland Cadavers, breaking up that winning season. Watch this be the downfall of the Cadavers, and they end up blowing the rest of the season clean to hell and back.
Please.
Yes, please. We already know that it's going to be Boston and Golden State in the World Finals. Y'all are just playing for third.
No!
That too. Thank you, Homer. And Homer, I'm surprised to see you in church today, my son.
No!
I thought you would be at work dealing with Montgomery Burns and all those shenanigans.
He did what?
Oh, Alan Michaels, it's good to see you too. So, for some reason, I was brought in here to discuss Jim Montgomery. Quite frankly, there's nothing else to discuss when it comes to Jim Montgomery. He's fired so long. Now, if only the Patriots would take the same page and get rid of that 38-day-old male that's currently stinking up the head coaching office in Foxborough. And while we're at it, why don't you take 70-year-old Kraft mac and cheese bread with you? And I know Dallas fans are going to say, hey, do us a favor, take Jarrell and Pennywise with you. Well, that'd be a nice little road trip. And then do yourself a favor and go up to Chicago and, how was it that the commissioner put it? Take that wheat, the casket with her, and all of y'all go down to Tampa and retire. And leave us the hell alone. We're done with you, thankfully. We've already thrown the season away here in New England because of the Patriots, because of the ineptitude that's up there in the front office. Maybe the Bruins can actually salvage their season. I mean, when was the last time we hoisted 2 world championship banners in the Garden? I've actually forgotten. I'm that old. Now, if you don't mind, I think we have more to get to today. So I'm done here. I will see you all on Thursday because we got something special cooking. Yeah.
Thanks, Father. I think
of course, my children.
I think I'll take the reins here and go to break. So, back
of course, my children. Praise be to the New England sports teams and pray for Foxborough. We got some really inept craft food up there. I think we need a break.
We'll get some Jersey Mikes after this.
Just make sure it's not on Kraft mac and cheese bread.
Don't worry, it won't be. And don't worry, I'll make sure that they'll put 38-day-old mayo on my sandwich either.
I think we need a break after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BT in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat beef of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Father O'Shaughnessy destroyed us again.
He tends to do that sometimes. He tends to do that. Just wait until the fireworks we have for Thursday.
Oh dear Lord. Folks, we have something special cooking on Thursday, and it will be the only time you'll see a full episode on YouTube. You want to get the rest of them, you're going to have to sign up for our Patreon. That's patreon.com/@Snowman Multimedia. I had someone reach out to me.
Oh?
They said they love the commissioner.
Nice.
You're muted, dude.
No, I'm not.
Oh, thought you said
something
something
a moment ago.
No, I'm like mouthing things off because it's crazy to think how patient I can be sometimes, which basically allows me to be as professional as possible.
Who's in trouble?
Nobody. Except maybe the Blackhawks who are 6-12-1. Ooh, did I say that?
I figured they would start off slow.
Like, the Blackhawks have a complete polar opposite record of the Panthers. The Panthers are 12-6-1. The Blackhawks are 6-12-1.
I know. It's going to take a few years for us. And I already know that. I already know that. And I'm fine with it. I know it's going to take a complete rebuild. We did it once before. We did it once before. 3 cups in 6 seasons. Real quick, because I got something special cooking here. They released the new CFP bracket projection last night. Your top 4 teams that would get a bye. You ready for this? At 4 is Boise State.
Wow.
At 3 is Texas or Miami?
Probably Miami.
I can't see. 3 is Miami. At 3 is Miami, 2 is Texas, and 1, of course, is the Oregon Ducks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. For me, I see Colorado at 4.
I think they're going to be flipping between BYU and Colorado the way things have been played.
In front of me, the 4 byes go to Boise State, Oregon, Miami, and Texas, and they will all host a game. The first round looks like this. 12-5 goes BYU at Ohio State. 9-8 Alabama at Notre Dame. Oh dear God.
That will be a show and a half.
11-6 goes Georgia Penn State, and Penn State will get knocked in the nose.
Oh, they're going to get knocked clean.
And 10-7, ready for this one? SEC versus Big Ten. Ole Miss and Indiana.
The Hoosiers.
Woof.
You know,
Woof.
we lead off our Saturday coverage with the biggest game of the year, biggest game of the biggest game in their lifetime for Indiana.
Yeah, because they have to take down Ohio State.
I just want to say that you realize that people are going to be so upset to see Boise State at the 4th bye.
No, they're not.
Not Ohio State.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're going to have to live with it because Boise's just been doing Boise things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're 12th ranked in the country. Well, they got a potential Heisman winner in Ashton Genty, so shut up.
Ashton Genty will win the Heisman.
That does remind me that the
Ashton Genty, I believe Ashton Genty will win the Heisman.
It's a tied race right now for the Heisman, in my opinion. It's going to go down to either Travis Hunter or Ashton Genty. One of those two.
Travis Hunter. Oh my God, Travis Hunter. Travis, I will look at this
breakout year.
Matter of fact, well, I'll say it later. All right, I got a surprise for y'all.
Huh?
Huh? What? I think it's time we have a little bit of coffee. Here he is, Ryan McCoffey, for the second time this week. Ryan, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Good week off, doing productive stuff around the house. Kind of centers you a little bit.
Man, twice in a week, this is turning into Dunkin' Donuts around here.
Mm-hmm. So what's the brew this morning?
I got me some Invader Coffee Pumpkin Pecan.
Pumpkin Pecan.
I wish it were a whiskey, but
I have been saying that since the start of the NFL season.
That's what you showed us the first time you were here.
That's what I showed you.
Guests appear via the Invader Coffee guest line. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Use the code Snowman to get 15% off your order. All right, Mr. McCoffey. The floor is yours.
Before we do that, though,
yeah.
Did you guys see what Joey Galloway said yesterday during the?
No.
He suggested. I'm paraphrasing here, so don't quote me. I'm paraphrasing. He suggested that Curtis Rourke should sit out Saturday's game against Ohio State.
Why?
Because he had concerns that he would wind up like Jordan Travis did last year and have a broken ankle and would be out for the NFL season next year. I think because Joey Galloway is an OSU alum, he just wants him to sit out so Ohio State has a better position in the college football playoff.
What if Indiana beats Ohio State?
Everyone could see through that. Everyone saw through that.
If Indiana beats Ohio State, that not only proves that Indiana are not frauds, but it also proves that Ohio State's on the fall off.
Listen, Indiana is no slouch.
Who do we hate? Ohio State. Come on, guys. Jeez, work with me.
I'm a KU fan. I say K-State.
I ain't got a dog in this pony show.
I consider myself a pseudo Penn State fan. 2020 kind of ruined college football for me, amongst other things.
but you also got to look at the last 2 weeks in college football. You've had 2 upsets. Well, we've had more than 2 upsets, but 2 very important upsets to the college football playoffs. One knocked Iowa State out of the race, which was KU beating Iowa State, and the other one dropped BYU out of a bye, which was KU beating BYU.
Which leads to this week, and we'll really dive into that tomorrow. Today, however, as we began the show, I said, Joe Douglas, you fired. The floor is yours.
The supervillain is getting himself ready.
Listen, Father McGregor. Settle down.
It's Father O'Shaughnessy. I'm not Conor frickin' McGregor.
You sound more Scottish than Irish. You're Scotch-Irish. You're Father McGregor. Anyway, Woody Johnson. Have a seat. So yesterday, as I'm doing my household chores, cleaning out the study/studio, making it a little bit more presentable, although you can see in the background there's still some work to do, but I see the news on the wire come down that Joe Douglas has been fired by the New York Jets. Not shocking, because this is how the season has gone, between ineptitude on offense, a defense that's suddenly gone soft, Robert Saleh being fired. Now we're coming to see it's rather ill-timed. Now Joe Douglas got his walking papers. At first, I said to myself, all right, this is going to be justifiable. He's in the last season of his contract. This was a year that he had to prove that he belonged, considering last year was a mulligan with all the stuff that happened with Aaron Rodgers and the offense going flat and the defense still picking things up. Last year was a mulligan for both Saleh and for Joe Douglas. And you figured if they had a bad year this year, both these guys would be out.
Yep.
Well, Saleh's gone by after week 5.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's because it's the bye week, and why not make some news during the bye week, because this is who we are as Jets, what we're used to as Jets fans. Joe Douglas has been shown the door. And I had some thoughts on it last night. I know credentials required. Ding. So you can check that out. It's the first half hour of the show is just talk about Joe Douglas and the things he did positively and the things he did that were the positive things he did, the negative things he did, which all led to what happened yesterday. So after yesterday's recording was finished, this report comes out from The Athletic, courtesy of Diane Rossini and Zach Rosenblatt, who's a beat writer for the Jets for The Athletic. And we'll talk about Joe Douglas' accomplishments. The 2022 draft was arguably the greatest draft ever in Jets history, because he picked up Garrett Wilson, you picked up Jermaine Johnson, you picked up Breece Hall, amongst others. Last year, you picked up Will McDonald. 2020, at least, in 2020, Michael Carter landed. That was the only draft pick that landed. In 2021, they pick up Elijah Vera Tucker in that trade with Minnesota, which was, to be determined, because he's had a history of injuries, but otherwise he's still a solid guard. But this article brought up a lot of stunning implications, and this is courtesy of U Stadium. It gives the cliff notes from the article, so I can't go into the article. I'll have to read it later. I have a subscription until January, but this is some of the things that Woody Johnson did that pretty much led up to that are coming out because of due to sources in the Jets organization. So after the team's loss to the Broncos in week 4, Jets owner Woody Johnson called a meeting with coaches and front office executives and suggested the team bench Aaron Rodgers in favor of Tyrod Taylor. The move apparently stunned coaches and Douglas, who convinced Woody out of it, and that would embarrass Aaron and not all well and not sit well with the locker room. So there's one of the things that Mr. Johnson, one of the things you try to strong arm yourself into. But wait, there's more.
Oh no,
there's more. Robert Wood Johnson, aka Woody Johnson, fired Robert Saleh with no consultation. He blocked Bryce Huff's extension, which would have kept him on the team. Instead, he wound up walking to the Eagles. He nixed a trade that Joe Douglas was ready to make to Denver, which would have brought in Jerry Jeudy and sent Al Lazard and a day 2 pick to the Broncos. But wait, there's more. There's more. Woody Johnson's micromanagement of Joe Douglas escalated after forcing Douglas to fire close friend Rex Hogan. Following the move, it's, quote, theorized, unquote, Douglas told staffers, quote, Woody should just fire me now, close quote. But wait, there's more.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. When Chad Alexander, Douglas's top advisor, left for the Chargers to take the assistant GM position, Johnson blocked Douglas from replacing him, further diminishing his authority.
Oh, good grief.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Hassan Reddick held out after Johnson refused to negotiate a contract extension. Tyron Smith and Mike Williams' signings were Johnson-driven. Johnson pushed for the Devontae Adams trade. Johnson benched Tony Adams against the wishes of the coaching staff. And last but not least, Aaron Rodgers likely won't return, with Johnson preferring to move on. All that in one really very shocking article. Again, I'll have to read it for myself later to get more details, but that's from you. Credit to you, Stadium, for giving me the cliff notes to go on today. When the Snowman asked me, hey, you want to come on and talk about Joe Douglas firing? I'm like, sure. Yeah, let's do it. My doppelganger, apparently, because we had the same hairstyle and the same facial hairstyle. And like I said last night, don't cry for Joe Douglas. He'll get the remainder of his contract, which is probably somewhere between $6 and $8 million. But this comes back to this comes back to culture. This is all culture. Now, I know you guys like to have Aaron Rodgers as your punching bag on this show. I know our buddy Cole Johnson likes to have Aaron Rodgers as his punching bag. The season's not on him. The season's not on Saleh. The season's not on Douglas. The season is all on Woody Johnson. Mr. Johnson. Yes, you. The season is on you.
Because, yes, Woody, it is you.
Because, Woody, yes, Woody, it is you.
And
it has been you. It's always been you since 2000, forever and never, hopefully soon. Amen.
And that has now become a graphic.
Yep.
It will.
Do it. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, thank you, and you're welcome.
A pause for this ad.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating, high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates. Magna cum stupid.
So yes, Mr. Johnson, that's where you are currently, the alumni. You are now the Dean Emeritus at large at Stupid University, right next to Antonio Brown, right next to Gerald. All those owners. Anyway.
Right up there next to 70-year-old Kraft mac and cheese bread.
6 Super Bowls can't be wrong. I'll just say that.
But
let's get back to Mr. Johnson here. Arguably, actually, no. He and his brother share the crown as the worst owners in professional sports owners in New York. Worse than Jimmy Dolan. Worse than the Steinbrenners. I mean, if I had a power ranking of New York professional team sports owners, they would be somewhere around 685th. That's how low I think of this franchise, because I was sold all sorts of excitement this year. I was sold. This is the best roster we've ever had in 20 years that I've been in the 25 years that I've had this, that I've been a part of this team. This is the best roster that's ever been constructed for the New York Jets. When he said that, it wasn't a compliment to Joe Douglas. It was himself patting himself on the back, taking all the credit, saying, "Look at what I've done. Look at what I've done. Look at what I've brought in. I brought in Aaron Rodgers. I brought in Tyron Smith. I brought in Mike Williams." And a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's trying to please the fans. Listen, I love our fan base. We've been loyal. We've been ridiculously loyal to the point of people giving a bunch of their money every year for season tickets. You know what's going to be the hardest job in America come 2025? Ticket sales for the New York Jets, because they're going to have a really tough time convincing fans to renew their season tickets. Because after this season, I don't know about my fellow Jets fans, I've become numb. I had a conversation with my dad last night after I got done recording. We talked about this a little bit. I said, this season has made me numb to football. I can't enjoy football anymore. He says, you know, you kind of seem that way when we talk about football these days. Yeah, because all the joy has been sucked out because this team that was supposed to make the playoffs this year, maybe win the division, is 3-8, tied for last place in the division, and with zero to little to no hopes. Oh, and apparently Woody Johnson, Mr. Johnson, allegedly you wanted the Jets to come to practice during their bye week. Which is the best time to rest your players, is during their bye week. Let them go. Let them be with their families. Let them go on vacation. Let them just relax and regroup. Nope. You said, nope, they got to practice. This is why you're awful at your job. Your job should be to sign the paycheck. Your job should be to hire the right people. You've only done one of these things well over the 25 years you've owned this team. And it's not hire the right people. So, in a way, I'm really glad that Trump got elected, because we're not sure. I mean, he may be the UK, Moody Johnson may be the UK ambassador again, which leaves the owner in charge to his brother, Chris Johnson. We know his history of hiring head coaches and GMs. Remember Adam Gase? Remember Mike McCagnon?
Mike McCagnon.
Dear God. Dear God. So,
where are you when we need you?
Oh. So he's got several options here. Number one, your first option is to hire president of football operations to start the GM search. It's been suggested that Curtis Martin become president of football operations, but I don't know what kind of experience he has in running a football team.
Well, he knows how to run a football, at least.
He knows how to run a football. Thank you, Shane. He knows how to run a football. You know, and I know best because he played for both our teams. So you have that option. Hire president of football operations, get out of the way, let them do the work. Let them hire the next GM, and let them work together to hire the next coach. Ben Johnson, we're gonna throw the bag at you, buddy. Just be aware. Number two, you can go off to Britain if you're appointed as UK ambassador. Let your brother hire president of football operations, and let them do the right thing and getting this roster right. Or C, you can sell the team to somebody who cares, because obviously your job as owner, you're basically letting the media run what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes bad ownership. That creates bad ownership decisions. You can't let outside forces run your business. You have to decide for yourself. And unfortunately, all the decisions you've made yourself, from the Saleh firing to suggesting that they bench Aaron Rodgers to now this firing of Joe Douglas, has led you to another awful record, another likely year of being out of the playoffs, and absolute revolt amongst Jets fans. So those are your options. according to me at least, you do what you do, you're worth billions of dollars. I mean, heck, you bought the team for $635 million. You could earn 10 times your investment, so to speak, if you sell this team. But sell to somebody who cares. Sell to somebody who cares, who wants to win, who wants to hire the right people to put a great product in the field. Because right now, there ain't nobody coming to your games at MetLife Stadium, that hovel of a stadium, that utterly sterile hole existing in the Meadowlands in New York.
Mm-hmm.
All gonna be, and it's gonna be filled with visiting teams fans again, as it has been for the last decade and a half. So you got your choices. I wish you the best, but I also don't wish you the best because of what you did with this team this year. So, Ms. Johnson, you are dismissed.
Well, that will take care of that.
Yep. Now, my question is, isn't it normal for New York media to always ride ownership? I mean, look what they've been doing for the longest time anyway.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Yeah, but unlike other teams, the Johnsons actually listen to what they suggest. Because
there's your problem.
Because they want to be the favorite. They want to be this is the people-pleasing ownership group.
This is
true. This is not an ownership group doing what's best for the team. This is an ownership doing what's best to keep the media on their side.
Mm.
And it's going to be 16 consecutive seasons with no playoff appearance, or 15 consecutive seasons without a playoff appearance.
I feel for them. I absolutely feel for them. I do. I feel for them. Mr. McCoffey, thank you very much for dropping by. We appreciate you very, very much.
Thank you. I had a lot, like I said, I had a lot to say on last night's program, but as soon as when this came out, I had, and when you said you invited me on today, oh man, I just had to get this off my chest. I've been saving this.
I'm glad you did.
I actually didn't sleep for part of the night because I had so much running around this big old cranium of mine.
I know.
The feeling.
Right words to say.
Hey, we all know the feeling. Thank you, Mr. McCoffey. As I mentioned, all our guests appear via Invader Coffee. Use the code Snowman to get 15% off your order. Check out No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports with our buddy Ryan McCoffey and his crew. You have a Saturday brunch, do you not?
We have Saturday. We have a program on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, and then we have a program next Thursday on Thanksgiving. Okay. We're doing Thanksgiving special at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Thanksgiving special. All right.
And always a Tuesday, 7:05 Eastern OG show.
We got it.
And don't forget 3 Rails Metro Hockey Podcast too.
Nice.
Drops on Mondays.
I like that podcast. I've subscribed to it. I like that podcast.
Thank you.
I like how that's set up. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Thanks, fellas.
Normally we go to break, but I have a surprise. Well, we have a surprise. This is going to be cool. Please welcome the fabulous voice of the Detroit Lions, the man who proclaims touchdown Detroit Lions every chance he gets, and I love it, Dan the Man Miller. He joins us right now. Dan, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. What's up, guys? How are you?
We're good, man. Thanks for coming on this morning. How'd you get into doing play-by-play, man? What got you started, and who were your heroes that inspired you to get into this?
That's a long time ago. You know what? I first started doing play-by-play in college, working for the college radio station, doing some of the games that went to George Mason University, started doing some of the games there. And my old high school was a basketball power at the time, and they started broadcasting some of their games. And my old coach, who was still the coach there, let me do some of those because he knew that's what I wanted to do. So that kind of got me started. And then I did, once I graduated from George Mason, I did their games for 4 years. And that got me going and kind of translated over into football, went and did NFL Europe and came back from there and started doing some NFL on Fox. And that kind of led to the Lions, and off you went. It's, there's no set way that anybody ever gets into this. It's more just find a door that's open that far and then try to kick it in. And that was lucky enough to happen for me, and just a bunch of different experiences that led into this. Look, I've had so many people that have impacted my career, from James Brown to listening to Pat Summerall growing up, to Frank Herzog, who was the voice of my youth, doing the Commanders games, Redskins back then. So I could go on, and people I've worked with and that have impacted me. Tony Roberts, the longtime voice of Notre Dame football. Joel Myers, who's still doing New Orleans in the NBA. And I got a chance to work with him early in his career and just learn from all these guys and watch them work. And I got to produce games when I was in my early 20s for Harry Callis and Chuck Thompson, 2 Hall of Famers. And, it's just really watching them and how they did their job. And I think all of us take a little something from everybody that touches us along the way and that we get to see and watch. And certainly I think in terms of play-by-play, those are the guys that I watched and that I grabbed a little bit from here and there.
In that division, I still call it the Central Division, Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota. In that division, I too pull a little something from everybody, from you, from Paul Allen. There we go. Pull something from you, pull something from Paul Allen, Jeff Joniak from the Bears, and Wayne Larrabee from the Packers. And it's so much fun listening to you guys each and every week, because when you follow one team, you're that voice. You are their voice. You are the eyes and the ears for that team to the fans, especially doing radio play-by-play, as I've done for the past 28 years for high school and college sports. When you're the eyes and the ears of that team, how important is it, Dan, to bring the action to those who cannot make it to the stadium?
Oh, I think it's huge. That's your job. And I should throw in, love all those guys in our division, all friends, all good guys. And I produced a Rose Bowl for Wayne Larrabee in 1987.
Nice.
That he did for Mutual Radio / Westwood One. And I remind him of that. And he's like, "You're kidding me." I'm like, "No, that was me." But I just remember being taken aback by how professional he was. And when you want to get into it, you just sit and you watch those guys and you watch them move. And even before I was producing or doing anything, I was 18, 19 years old, going to games, getting post-game sound, and I would watch the play-by-play guys walk in. And to me, it was like they floated across the room and went into the booth or wherever they went. And I just thought, man, one day I hope to go in there. But to your question, look, that's your job. Your job is to paint the picture for whether somebody's watching and at the game or watching and they turn down the TV sound and turn us up, or they're driving, or they're in their garage, or they're in their kitchen, or whatever it is. We want to bring exactly what's happening to them, the excitement, set the stage, make sure they can see the picture in their mind. And that's really what you're doing more than anything else, is you're trying to allow them to be able to picture what's happening. Because I think ultimately that's what we do when we listen to the radio, is we're kind of listening to the description, and in our mind, because we've seen so much of it, we can imagine what it looks like. If it's, J-Mo running down the sidelines, or Amon-Ra making a tough catch over the middle, or whatever it is, you see it. but it's up to us to make sure that people can see it.
A couple years ago, when the Lions won on a walk-off touchdown from Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, the bench went crazy. You went crazy. I have that clip, and I listened to it a lot, and I love the way that you work Detroit Lions games. Did that game in your mind, that walk-off win, signal a turnaround in your mind for the Lions to get to where they are now?
I think it signaled a release because they hadn't won a game yet under Dan Campbell. They'd had this weird tie against Pittsburgh that nobody knew what to do with. And It was like after the game, we're all like, well, they didn't lose. So what's that mean? So it was kind of this weird, was it an accomplishment or was it not an accomplishment? It was kind of an ugly game. So it wasn't even one, excuse me, that you would jump up and down about. But once they won that game, that was a big deal. And that was also a very emotional week in our area because it was the week of the Oxford High School mass shooting.
Right.
And the Lions had that block O on the back of their helmets. So I think that we were all just hypersensitive to everything that week because that was, that was our people. That was our community. And so I think everything added up to making that moment one that we all felt deeply because we were thrilled for the players and the coaches. And just also still carrying in all of our hearts as they wore on their helmets what had happened earlier that week. So that was a memorable week for a lot of reasons and many different emotions that go into those memories.
Speaking of memories and emotions, let's go back to the NFC Championship game. You were there at Levi's Stadium. Lions and 49ers, so many Lions fans that were at Ford Field watching the game, and you were there calling that game. When you got to Levi's Stadium, what was that like knowing you were calling the NFC Championship game for your Detroit Lions?
Well, I got there at 6:30 in the morning Pacific time because we had to do a pregame show. So what it was like at that point was dark with the sun coming up and we were tired. But look, when that game kicks off, you realize this is something special happening here. And we hadn't been there during my time broadcasting the Lions. They had been there in 91 when they played Washington. But look, we had come off 2 incredible weeks. The Rams game was an atmosphere like I've never seen. Just the city of Detroit electric, anticipating something they hadn't been able to enjoy in decades, which was a home playoff game. Then to win that game was something they hadn't done since 91, which was in and of itself amazing. And then, just knowing what's on the line and knowing that you have a chance to advance to the Super Bowl, something this franchise had never done. And I will say this, it is kind of the way it works is you feel all that and then the game starts and the game is the thing. And you understand that there's this thing hanging out there that's going to go to the winner of this game. But once you get going, it's still okay. You need to convert this third down. You need to get a third down stop to get off the field. And all those things become important. And so it was a great experience, certainly one that I hope to have again sooner, if not later. But, you came up 30 minutes short. And that's what I think most people remember about that game is such a fantastic start to be up 24-7 at the half. And then really uncharacteristic mistakes for them in the second half, the kind of mistakes that they really hadn't made for much of the season. And that's what ultimately cost them. But credit San Francisco, they took advantage of every mistake that the Lions made. And I think there's a cautionary tale in there for a team that you've got to be ready to play 60 because 30 won't get it done. And that's ultimately what happened to them. So it was disappointing, but that team accomplished so much and set the table for so much going forward. They still have to accomplish that and execute that. But it was a really fantastic day, a very hollow feeling flying home on that plane. But I think also, as I looked at it and kind of tried to run it in my mind on that plane, the one thing that I thought about coming home was, and this team's got something set up. This wasn't a one-time thing. This team's got the ability with the young talent they have, the developing players they have, to be back here. And you have to earn that. Nobody gives you anything. And that's one of the daunting things about it is, man, you got to start all over again next year and do it all again. But a lot of mixed emotions on that day for sure.
How about this Lions team off to the roaring start that they are one of the best teams in the league, certainly the best team in the NFC. From my standpoint, and I look at it not only as a fan, but also a journalist and a play-by-play announcer, you see the growth in this team and you see the chip on their shoulder that they have come out with at the start of this season. Coming into this season, you've had a chance to see their practices and go to their team meetings and, listen to everything that the coaches say. And then, as you said, and it's very true, the ball kicks off. When did you see that extra oomph in the Lions this year that gives you a clue of, hey, they may finish the job this year, but we got to get there first? It's a different Detroit Lions team this year, is it not?
Yeah, I always thought they were really good. I mean, I came into the season thinking that, and knowing that they had gone out in the offseason and, picked up DJ Reader, had a rookie cornerback in Terrion Arnold that was going to play. And, he's had his rough patches, but he's gotten better. But they added to the mix, bringing in a Pro Bowl guard and Zeitler, and seeing that, Jameer was a year older and Amon-Ra was a year older and Panay was a year older. And these guys are just getting better all the time. And Kirby, and I could keep going because there's so much young talent in this team. Jack Campbell, Aleem McNeil, Hutch before he got hurt. I certainly thought this was going to be a really good team. And I would say probably what jumped out at me was, look, beating the Rams to start the season was huge under bright lights on a Sunday night, and a team that certainly wanted to come back in and exact some revenge for knocking them out of the playoffs last year. But I think when we went through that 5-game stretch where we were on the road for 4 out of 5, we had to go to Dallas, to Minnesota, back home for Tennessee, Green Bay, and Houston. You looked at that 4 out of 5 on the road and the 4 toughest games on the road, and you thought, man, they can get out of there 4-1. That's something else. 3-2 would be acceptable. And they go 5-0. And right. they really looked good in doing it. And picking up 2 road wins in the NFC North. I think that's where you kind of said, okay, here we go. But it's still every week. It is still the fact that you have to go out there and do this every week. And, even going into last week's game, I saw the talent on Jacksonville, and I knew that if you don't go out there and play well and take care of the football and do all the things that you have to do to win, you can lose that game. They'd just taken Minnesota down to the final possession. So it's still every week. This team's really good. This team is really good and capable of winning a Super Bowl. But you have to go out and earn it and do it and play the right way and all those things. Because us sitting here now and saying it doesn't really, mean anything. It's what you do the rest of the way to win the division and get a home game. Because, man, I'd much rather play Philadelphia in Detroit than I would have to go to Philadelphia and play them.
Right.
So there's so much that has to be earned and so much that has to be done. But make no mistake about it, they're good enough to do anything this season, up to and including winning the Super Bowl. But if you don't play the right way, if you play the way you played in the second half against San Francisco last year, you're not going to do it because somebody's going to beat you. And that's the lesson I think they learned.
What's the final thing before we let you go? What is your preparation like each week? Because when I covered Trinity International in Deerfield, Illinois, and me covering the high schools that I've done up to this point, is there a set pattern that you have? Like Monday, I go get sound bites. Tuesday, I start doing my boards. Wednesday, I start prepping for my pregame show with interviews and things like that. Is there a set pattern that you have?
There is, and it's one of the things that I love about the NFL is that for the most part, and this year we've got a lot of Monday, Thursday, crazy type games.
Right.
But there definitely is. I mean, there's a rhythm to it, and I think that's what allows you to keep your sanity. Because I have the Lions job, and then I'm the sports director at the Fox station in Detroit. So I'm kind of, working two jobs, which no complaints, wouldn't do it any other way. But yeah, I think, Monday you're kind of turning the page from the day before. Tuesday, I take my coach's scouting report with him that runs on our TV show on Sunday morning. Wednesday, boards are done by then, and I start putting notes on there. Thursday, I'm wrapping those up and pretty much have everything down that I need to have. Friday, I watch tape, mostly the other team. I'd say 99% the other team because I've seen so much of the Lions, but it allows you to, A, get their numbers down, B, see any formations that they have that might seem a little bit funky that you don't want to just be, tripping over when they show them to you the next week. And, by the time Saturday rolls around, pretty much done. Maybe going back over a little bit of things here and there, but it's really just a rhythm of boards, notes, tape on the other team. And the good thing about doing one team all the time is you're living your preparation. It's not like I have to sit down and learn the Lions. I'm doing it every day by going to, meet with players, meet with coaches, whatever practices I go to, all the previous games that you've been to. It's, I'll say this, I did games for Fox for 5 years. And when you are sent to Arizona to do Arizona, Seattle, man, that's hours and hours and hours, 15, 20 hours of prepping just to get ready to know those teams, because the challenge is always you're broadcasting at a minimum to two cities in Arizona and Seattle that know those teams backwards and forwards. And they can't wait for you to say, this Joe Smith has really had a nice year. And they're sitting home going, no, he has not. He missed 7 tackles last year. You have no idea what you're talking about. So that was really a challenge. I mean, so it's the one thing you find when you're doing one team is 90+% of what you say has to do with that team. If something good happens, why did it happen good for the Lions? If something bad happens, why did it happen bad for the Lions? You're obviously doing the other team as well and telling people what's happening with the other team as you call the game. But it almost always comes back to how does it relate to Detroit? And that I think narrows your scope a little bit along the way.
Troy has a question for you.
So with the last, 3-4 years of draft picks, picking up guys like Sam Laporta on offense, Amon-Ra, you also got Jameson Williams on the wide receiver core, and then picking up guys in the trade deadline like Zadarius Smith, especially with Hutch down. With the front room of the Lions, rebuilding this team piece by piece, including getting Jared Goff from the Rams, what specific trade or draft do you think was the key turning point for the Lions to be the team that they are now?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I mean, look, I think all of it has added up to, this team being what they are. And it's the draft, but it's also the way this coaching staff develops the players. Because we always drafted players before this regime came in, but many of them never got to second contracts because they, didn't reach their maximum potential. Now this team has given out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to guys to keep them here, from Panay to Amon-Ra to Aleem and on down the line. I'll say a couple things. One, obviously getting Goff was huge. And a lot of people didn't think that he'd be the guy that he is. But I think some of the guys that made that trade, Brad Holmes and Ray Agnew, who were in L.A. with him, thought he could be the guy. And he's turned out to be the guy. So that obviously is massive. That was always going to be the best case scenario. When they made that trade, and a lot of people thought, oh, he's just here until they draft a young quarterback. The best case scenario was always that Jared became the guy and you use those draft picks for something else. Many of the guys that you just named. I think you set some cornerstones in that first draft when you got Panay and Amon-Ra and Aleem. I mean, that was just massive to be able to get guys like that. I hope I'm not conflating my drafts there, but I just think when you get guys on each side of the line and then just a force multiplier, leader, lead by example guy, lead verbal guy, like Amon-Ra, who is just everything you could want in a player and a teammate, you're setting yourself on a good course. And then, having the breaks to get Hutch the next year, and, nothing against Trayvon Walker, but Hutch was perfect for us for a lot of reasons. not just where he's from, but his ability and the way that he sets the tone for other players. So it's really been all those drafts that have added up to it. But certainly that first one did not hurt because you got some big time guys in that draft that are mainstays on this team. And Panay's tracking to go to the Hall of Fame, and I'm not going to sell Amon-Ra short for anything, because that dude just keeps on putting up numbers every single week. So having guys like that, pretty good place to start.
Right.
Dan Miller, the man, the voice of the Detroit Lions, joining us here this morning. A little bit of mic to mic to kick off the second hour of Snowman in the Morning. Dan, we appreciate you very much. We love you. Thank you for your time. And I will continue to be a fan of listening to you call Lions games, my friend. Thank you very much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
You're very kind. Appreciate the very kind words. And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
How's that to kick off the second half of the show?
I'm all about that.
Oh my!
That was cool.
Was that not fun?
That was cool right there.
All the right questions.
Say again.
That's asking all the right questions.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've all done this before, and I had a chance yesterday to talk with Dave Sims. And I'll say this: whether an interview is 5 minutes or 20 minutes, when you get professionals like that, and they are so kind to stop by, you appreciate the time that they're there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like I said, I had an interview with Dave Sims yesterday. It was about 5 to 6 minutes because he had to run. But when he popped in and said, sorry, I'm late. And I know it's been a whirlwind for him. After leaving Seattle, after 18 years, coming back home to be the play-by-play radio voice of the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. And Dave, I love you, brother. Thanks for stopping by yesterday. I totally appreciate it.
And like I said in the group chat, the funny thing is we were talking about Dave, so far this week. Mm-hmm. And I'm flipping around on YouTube trying to, find something to watch to kick back. One of the first things that came up was Dave's best calls in Seattle.
Yes.
I was like, well, that's just fitting.
And then also it was like the whole idea of bringing Dan Miller on came in a VC with one of my good friends, Ever Trua, who's a lifelong Lions fan, been a Lions fan for God knows how long. And she was just talking about the Lions. I was like, I might hit up Dan Miller and see, if he'd be interested in having an interview.
Yep.
This whole interview, the start of the second hour is surreal. And thank you, Mr. Miller, for coming on to the show today and sharing your experiences with the Lions, how you see the Lions team and all that. The rest of the second hour.
You know what one of my goals is?
What's that?
One of my goals. I have Wayne Larrivee. I've had Dan Miller. I want to get Paul Allen on here.
Yes.
I want to get the legendary Paul Allen here. I want to get him on the show. We talked about excuse me. We talked about Dave Sims and some of his great calls. Well, guess what? A little bit of live research, and I got one that baseball folks will remember forever. Dave, take it away.
It's folks out here at the ballpark. 3-2 to Cal. The pitch from Acevedo. A drive deep to right field. Down the line. The Mariners win this game 2-1. The dream lives. They're going to the playoffs. The drought is over. Cal Raleigh. Wow. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Are you kidding me, Cal Raleigh? He gets a slider and hits it off the windows out there for his 26th home run of the year. That's right. The party is going on. Congratulations to the Mariners. A long season gets paid off with a trip to the postseason.
That is beautiful. Mariners clinch the wild card.
A pinch hit home run by Cal Raleigh. He has been so big for this club in the second half. 2 outs and a home run to send them to the postseason.
On a 3-2 pitch, it doesn't get any better.
A 3-2 slider.
Amen, brother.
Yep.
I got a call.
Dave Sims, baby. Oh, there's more. Here's the radio voice, Rick Riz. How about a bonus?
Had to battle through some big injuries. A winning record in June, July,
The
August,
voice you're hearing now is that of Rick Riz, the radio voice
knocking on
of
the
the
door to
Seattle
a playoff
Mariners,
appearance
one
for
of
the
Dave's
first
best
time
friends.
since 2001. Here's the stretch. The 3-2 pitch, swinging a drive, deep to right field, stay fair. Holy smokes, he did it! Off the hit in Air Cafe. Cal Raleigh with a walk-off home run. How sweet it is! The Mariners end the 20-year drought on a walk-off home run by Cal Raleigh.
Isn't this
They win
beautiful?
the ball game. 2-1.
Yes, absolutely.
Are
This is
going to the
beautiful, isn't it?
playoffs as a playoff contender. They go to the playoffs as a wild card member. Cal Raleigh with his 26th home run of the year. 47,000 fans are going crazy here at T-Mobile Park. What a finish for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh on a 3-2 pitch. Long home run to right field by the Hit It Here Cafe, and the magic carpet ride continues. This ball club has been amazing all season long. They never give up, and they're going to take us to the playoffs. The 20-year drought, forget about it. It is over.
Yeah, no,
I got one for y'all.
Courtesy,
before we head to
all
break.
that's. Let me throw some courtesy out here. All that is courtesy of the Seattle Mariners, Major League Baseball, KIRO for Rick Riz, and Root Sports Northwest. And Dave Sims, we love you. Thank you for stopping by. And there's one for Dan Miller that Droid has queued up for us. Let's take a look.
This is from the Lions-Rams wildcard game. This was the pivotal play where basically first down is the win. First down, first Detroit Lions playoff win in forever.
Works out of the gun, 2nd down and 9. 2 minutes to go. There's Goff back, looking, throws. It is caught. Amon-Ra St. Brown, first down. That's going to do it. That's going to do it. That's going to do it. Jared Goff delivers against his former team. Now all they have to do is take a knee 3 times, and this game will be over. For the 2nd time since 1957, for the first time since January 5th, 1992, these Detroit Lions are going to win a playoff game.
154. Thank you.
Damn. Oh, my God. Detroit, stand up. You've waited for this. One proud nation, stand up. You've waited for this.
30 some odd years. My goodness.
Sheila Hamp.
Yes.
Rod Wood.
Yes.
Mike Disner.
Yes.
Chris Spielman.
Yes.
Brad Holmes.
Yes.
Dan Campbell.
Oh, my God.
They have brought it back to Detroit. They've given it to us.
Man,
let's get in victory formation, boys. 1:54 to go. Clock will start on the snap. There's the snap. There's the knee. That's one. You stand up, Jared. Put those arms in the air. Put those arms in the air, 16.
Dang.
Jared Goff, 22 out of 27, 277 yards, a touchdown, quarterback rating 121.8. That's a winning effort. Clock moving down to 129. The Lions will milk it.
And just think, we've been carrying this round for 30-some years. We're about to get that proverbial monkey off our back.
Jared will wait to move in behind center until that clock goes all the way down. Play clock at 1, takes the snap, takes the knee. One more time. One more time, Jared. Oh, Ford Field, you are beautiful. 65,000 strong standing. One final time, Jared. One final time. Moves in behind center. Takes the snap. Takes the knee. This game is over. Oh, the Detroit Lions have won it. Celebrate, boys. Celebrate. You're coming right back here next week to take on the winner of the Philadelphia-Tampa Bay game. What a night. What a night.
Yep.
Oh, love it.
Call from the legendary Dan Miller. And again, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you for being on the show today. That's credits to 97.1 The Ticket, the Big 1050 WTKA, and courteous of the NFL and all if its affiliates. Let's take a break, shall we?
Yeah, we need one. Let's take a break, and then we'll wrap this puppy up in style. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BT in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat beef of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Wow.
Let's see.
Wow. Just wow. That's all I have to say.
Right. Well, you said we're gonna wrap this baby up in style.
Did y'all have fun?
Yeah.
With Dan Miller being here.
Oh yeah.
Like you kept saying, "Shut up, Droid. You didn't get Dan Miller." And then
I did
I
because
proved you wrong.
I love listening to Dan Miller. Him, Jeff Joniak, Paul Allen.
Yep.
Who am I missing? Wayne Larrabee.
Being as patient and as professional as possible pays off in a lot of ways.
Sure
Especially,
does.
I know Dan's been going through a lot lately, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, we give him all the love in the world. You know.
Yeah, we do.
One of the greatest play-by-players to ever do it.
Indeed, I agree.
I
agree. I've had 2 of the 4 from the Central Division, Wayne Larrabee and Dan Miller.
It's
Oh my gosh!
kicking himself because he's like, the one day I'm not here.
Yes,
McCoffey.
you
not
get
only
Ryan
for a second
McCoffey
time,
and you get Dan Miller.
Yep.
Same day, the same day.
I know, right?
The same damn day.
Yeah.
Let me shout out my niece Macy, who just turned 14. She is growing up right before my eyes. Macy, happy birthday, little niece. I love you dearly. While I'm
talk more college football tomorrow.
Yes.
And then on Friday is when we make our NFL picks, courteous of not only BetUS, but also our friend over here, Shane Lake.
And
Now-
speaking of tomorrow, we got this on tap.
Passionate,
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
unflinching,
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
unrelenting,
They're not gonna keep him off the field tonight!
totally.
This one has a chance!
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
I also
We
want
got
to say
all that
happy
tomorrow.
I also want to say happy 21st birthday to KU alumni Grady Dick, being a top scorer in the league right now on a terrible Toronto Raptors team. Right now he's averaging 18.7 points, which is the 52nd best in the league. He's in the top 100 in scoring right now.
Mm-hmm.
And his free throw percentage is top 30 in the league right now. He's showing that he's developing nicely.
Very nicely.
Despite how immature he really is. And I've talked about this before. You remember the Anthony Black and Grady Dick photo that went viral, which was a very immature photo. And you know it was planned. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
know damn well that was planned.
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget tomorrow. Let's not forget tomorrow. We also got Chris Simpson coming by to preview that dumpster fire that's going to be Pittsburgh, Cleveland for Thursday night.
Yeah,
Dear
Pittsburgh's
God.
going to run through Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, you said we were going to wrap this puppy up in style.
Mm-hmm.
How exactly do you plan on doing that?
Like this.
This moment of Bronsexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic Bronsexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YOKAY. Real LJPM, now approve all this.
I didn't know that style was going to be in the style of a Ford Pinto.
And this.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it, like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating, high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Aminos, dominos, vamonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates. Magna cum stupid.
And this.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronsexual Confessions.
Why?
You mean to tell me we're actually doing this?
This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation.
This close, this close, gentlemen, to walking off. This close.
And it's Shane's fault.
What you mean?
Oh, dear
Not you.
God, that.
It's your fault, big dog.
Well, you know what happens, unfortunately, when there's nothing else better to do, and quite frankly, I hate to say it, but when this happens, you tend to find the absolute stupidest crap, and apparently I know where this is going.
Yep.
So,
he himself. Yeah.
do it right.
He himself
Do it right. You know what to play.
said, quote, I feel like I'm the best basketball player that ever played the game. Close quote. I begin with this. That is some bullshit. Now, I have a selection due from the Wonder Bread International Tabernacle Choir.
Oh, we actually brought them back for this?
Yep, we did.
Oh,
And
what's this selection called?
This selection is titled Stop the BS.
Oh, hell.
Somebody woke me up out of my sleep
Oh, great. The commission's about to open up a can of whoop ass.
and told me to get in here because some Bronsexuals were talking some bullshit. So I came on in here. And I saw the frivolity. You know what? I didn't want to do this. I really didn't. But now that I have a chance to, I'm gonna. Will you Bronsexuals please shut the hell up? Because LeBron sucks at the game of basketball. How many times do I need to prove that? Well, they brought me in here to prove it. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove that LeBron James is not the supposed king. I told you not to laugh during my class.
What?
Yes, Vicalaw, however the hell that's pronounced. I got woken up in here.
No, sir. I'm sorry. That's Detective Vic A. La.
We'll see him tomorrow, so I'm told. Why do y'all bronsexuals continue to spout out stuff that ain't true? Especially when it comes to LeBron. I could stop all of this mess with just one sentence. And that sentence is, if you look at the Laker jersey, whose logo is on the right side of it? Or if you're looking at it on TV, the left side, whose logo is he wearing? That's right. He's wearing the Jumpman logo. And the Jumpman belongs to the king, Michael Jordan. I may not be as astute in basketball as I am in football, but I know that Michael Jordan is the king of basketball, period. I'm going to continue to say it, but I'll say it loudly here. LeBron James. LeBron James has ruined the NBA since he got here. Period. I don't care what people say. They gave him a championship in 2012. They gave him, and I'm talking about the powers that be, gave him a finals appearance in 2011. Which made a lot of people say,
"Great googly moogly."
And about Adam Silver basically carving a path for them to get to the finals in 2011. I think this.
He did what?
Now it's brought to my attention that another bronsexual, where's that there button? Snowman, you got to teach me this stuff. All right.
That's what I'm here for too, just in case, you know.
Yeah. He's teaching everybody.
Yeah.
Well, there was you know what? Let me do this the right way. And I can't believe I'm going to push this here button, but I'm going to push this here button. So I had a conversation with the bronsexual.
What you mean?
This bronsexual had the absolute gall to say to me, quote, LeBron is the greatest player of all time, and he rules over everybody, including Michael Jordan. Close quote. I asked this stupid fucker one question. How many Defensive Player of the Year awards does LeBron have? He started looking things up, and I said, I'll tell you. He's got none. Michael Jordan won the Defensive Player of the Year. He also won the steals title and the scoring title and was MVP. In that same year, he won the Defensive Player of the Year. And I told this stupid ass, you want to know what year that was? That was 1988. That's right, 1988. Now everybody's praising LeBron and sucking his right now because the Lakers are suddenly 10-4 and a game behind Golden State in the West, not just the Pacific Division. And I still say the Lakers are fucking foolish to think they're going to get to the playoffs. There's going to be a time that LeBron will want to sit and rest and he won't come back. LeBron. You know why I say all this? Because, yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Amen.
Now the commissioner is taking my job.
Shut up. Nobody asked you to come in here while I'm going off.
Oh, I'm just sitting here to make sure it doesn't get violent.
Better not get violent. I'll come back there and chop you in the neck. Listen, Bronsexuals. LeBron is not it. Never has been, never will be. He ain't it. Don't you understand that by now? Don't you get that by now? And if you don't, I'll be glad to provide a lesson for you. LeBron James is absolute trash. Matter of fact, I got a song for it. This is how I feel about LeBron James in the game of basketball. LeBron James is simply
Trace.
Now then, I gotta give me this damn thing. I gotta put this stupid Daniel Rodman to bed because he had the nerve to open his mouth with a picture and say, quote, I feel you, your bum fans. It's hard to let go that your idol isn't the GOAT anymore, but accept this. LeBron James is the GOAT, and we are all witnesses. And under that, he has a picture of LeBron James with 4 straight triple doubles. He also includes an article in there about Jordan scoring 2 points in a loss and 4 points in a game, in an international game. Well, let me say this. Now I'm going to say this loudly and proudly. Daniel Rodman, you're a idiot. You're a dumbass. Matter of fact, I'll just say it plainly. Daniel Rodman, you're a bitch. So you want to highlight the fact that LeBron had 4 straight triple doubles. I'm responding in real time.
I was about to say, we got some real live stuff going on right here.
That we do. Because I'm sick and tired of this fool. I'm sick and tired of these Bronsexuals. Listen. So you want to talk about his 4 straight triple doubles, huh? First game, 15, 16, and 12. Second game, 35, 12, and 14. Third game, 10, 10, and 16. Fourth game, 21, 12, and 13. Well, I read that wrong for the third game. 19, 10, and 16. And fourth game, he had 21, 12, and 13. What the hell does that mean? Yeah, 4 straight triple doubles. Whoop-de-can-do. MJ had 7 of them. The year was 1989. Due to an injury to John Paxson, he was forced to play point guard, and point guard he did the 7 straight triple doubles. That's right. I said 7 straight triple double. And I got a Bronsexual texting me right now saying there's no way you can prove that Michael Jordan had 7 straight triple doubles. Oh, I can't, huh? You stupid idiot. You stupid idiot. I'm going to show y'all the footage of Michael getting 7 straight triple doubles. And I don't care if this video gets monetized or not. I need to prove a point. And prove a point I will. And Shane, I know you're back there in the producer's booth going crazy right now. because I suddenly learned all this stuff, but the hell with it. For these people that don't understand what greatness is, I want y'all to take a look for the next 2 minutes and 45 seconds and understand what greatness really is. Roll it.
Scotty gives to Jordan, top of the key. Michael down the lane to the right, lays it in. Now Jordan on the push dribble. Michael comes in for left hands to Horace Grant. Reverse layup is in. Michael Jordan takes it down the lane, a dish for Pippen. Scotty lean in shot and the foul call. Rimming high, no good. Jordan way up for the rebound. Michael takes to the middle, long bounce ahead to Horace Grant for the dunk. Ahead to Jordan. Michael comes down left the lane, all the way to the hoop. Finger roll is in. Jordan on the move right side against Teagle, all the way to the hoop, shoots it in off the glass. Jordan backs him in the lane, now takes it to the hoop, lays it up. Takes it across the lane, lefty shot, bank no good. Rebound Michael Jordan. Now the Bulls on the push as Jordan brings it down, takes it right to the lane, to the hoop, kicks for Vincent, left baseline jumper, good. 3-on-1 break. Michael Jordan a dish for Grant and Horace, a two-hand jam for the clock. Michael on the drive, running hook, rimming good. Backs right back into Jordan, low right against Humphries. Turnaround jumper, good. Jordan on the drive, down the lane, dish left to Grant to the hoop for the jam. Just picked it up. Jordan has it in the lane, 13-footer tie game. Michael Jordan drilled it. Across the lane, shoots under pressure, rims it no. Rebound Michael Jordan. Michael on a breakaway, in on Moncrief for the jam. Jordan right side. Michael a fake, drives on Harper, spins into the lane against him. Lean in, hanger, good. Michael Jordan puts the Bulls up by one. Low left, Michael baseline against Harper, feeds it off to Grant. Horace the jam. Right corner, Elo steps past Sellers and fires. Rimming no. Michael Jordan the rebound. Bulls down, looking to tie. Jordan left to the lane, all the way, lays it up. Good, yes, sir! The Grant screen takes it down the lane, all the way. Lefty dunk. Here comes Scotty back to Jordan. Michael all the way to the hoop, lays it in from the right side. Michael on the drive against Harper. Down the lane for the dunk. A power jam with the right hand. Jordan on the stutter step move, left the lane, fakes, kicks left corner to Sellers. Brad fires. Cartwright against Keith Lee. Backs in, jump hook. No good right side. Michael Jordan's follow is in. On the drive up the middle. Jordan knocked it away to Grant. Ahead to Jordan. Michael on the push. Bouncer ahead to Pax to the hook. Mike Chapman 10 to shoot. Jordan feeds Grant underneath for the dunk. Horace Grant. Vincent open shot left to the key. Rimming no. Tip Jordan good. Michael Jordan pushing on the dribble. Stutter step move in on Chapman.
All right, that's enough. All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
That's enough of that. I think I proved my point.
I know I can actually prove that.
Seven straight triple doubles for MJ, while they celebrate LeBron only having 4.
I was about to say.
Stupid.
Very.
That's stupid. But then again, it's Bronsexuals we're dealing with here. So you know what I say to these stupid Bronsexuals? Get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of the Bronsexual Confessions.
I'm just thinking.
You know what? To LeBron saying that he is the greatest to ever do this.
Shut up, bitch!
On that note, have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. So long, everybody.